first question is from Tom Cottrell at Endon High School in Stoke-on-Trent. And Tom would like to know, what inspired you to create a film about different people from all over the globe?
Hi Tom, hope you're there. What inspired me? Well, it just seemed like nobody's made a film like this before. And it's a kind of film you could only really make now with modern technology, with cameras that are so cheap and readily available. You know, almost everybody in the Western world has some form of video camera on their phone or, you know, at home, and, you know, something that their mum and dad use for home movies and that kind of thing. And also there's YouTube. There's a way of uploading all this video so that people can look at it. So I wanted to take advantage of those new tools and make a new kind of movie, because that's what Life in a Day is. It's a new kind of movie. There's
a really good question from Newland Girls' School. I'm not sure exactly who it's from, so sorry about that, but it's from someone in Year 8, and Newland is in Windsor and Maidenhead. And the question is, why did you choose Saturday the 24th of July 2010?
Good question. Well, it was kind of random that we chose that particular day. We wanted it to be a Saturday because we thought more people would film, because in a lot of parts of the world Saturday is a holiday, not everywhere, but a lot of parts of the world. And we didn't want to do it during the World Cup because we thought nobody would really have any time, especially on Saturday, to take part. And we were trying to get the film ready for Sundance Film Festival, which takes place in January, so we didn't want to leave it too long, so it just ended up being around then. And it was one of those lucky things that that day happened to be a full moon. And we didn't even know that, and that's one of the things that is kind of like really important to the film, is that it starts with all these full moons, because it's a full moon everywhere in the world on the same night. And so you start with a full moon that's in Chile, I think, and then you have another one that's in Vietnam, another one that's in America, and another one that's in Denmark or somewhere. So that was just a really good bit of good luck.
Were you ever kind of worried that people wouldn't send in enough footage? Jake Webster from Endon High School wants to know how you managed to get so many people to take part.
Hi, Jake. Yeah, I was really worried. I thought we might not get anybody. You know, it's like being, you know, I suppose waiting to be picked on the football team. You don't know whether you're going to be picked or not. You're at the mercy of all these other people. But we were told by YouTube, who've done sort of things a bit like this before, not exactly this kind of thing, but they've done things like this before, that the most we would probably get would be 8,000 to 10,000 responses from around the world. I think that's the most that anyone's ever had for anything like this before. But actually we got 81,000 responses, which was 4,500 hours of material, which would take one person, I think, 2 years to watch if you watched 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. I think my maths isn't that good, but it's something like that. It's only about 2 years. So, you know, that's a massive amount of material. And I had a whole team, I had 25 people working with me, and an editor, Joe Walker. And all those 25 people, they watched every single thing. And they also had to speak different languages, of course, with Chinese speakers. Somebody spoke 5 Indian dialects, somebody spoke, you know, Korean, somebody spoke Swedish, all that. So they went through it and translated bits that they thought were interesting and then gave them to me. And I watched about 300 or 350 hours.
So I guess the big bit of decision making you did get to make, and this is a question from Sam Chilton at the Roseland Community Film Club. Hello, Sam. Wants to know, how did you decide which bits went in and which bits you left out? How did you make those decisions?
Hi, Sam. That's a very good question. That is a good question. That was the difficult decision. That was the difficult thing to do. And as I say, I watched about 300 or 350 hours, and took 2 months to sit and watch. And I suppose at the beginning, in the first couple of days, I was like, oh, that's great, we must have that in. And then, of course, about day 4, you're kind of exhausted. And then actually, as you let it just wash over you, all this stuff, it's all kind of fascinating, but there were certain things you go, oh, that is a good character, that make you sit up and think, oh, that's really beautiful, or that's a really good story. And those bits we'd take out if they felt really, really strong. And that was only about 10 hours worth. And then it was from that 10 hours that we started to cut the film.
Another question from Newland Girls' School. They want to know, what emotion did you want the audience to feel?
Well, I wanted them to feel a lot of emotions. I hope that when you were watching it that you laughed and that you cried a bit, or you at least felt like crying. You might want to cry in public, but and that's what it does to me. I feel it's very, very emotional. And there's something about the fact that these clips of film are made by amateurs that are not done by professionals, which makes them more immediate, more moving, more emotional, I think. And I wanted people at the end of the film to think, you know, it's great to be alive. And there's so much great in life, even though there's, you know, things can go wrong at any moment. There's illness and there's, you know, accidents and there's death in life, but that actually life is great and we should appreciate it every moment that we have it. And also I think to realise that we are all the same, that actually we all want the same things, the same basic ideas we all share.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a very powerful thing.
Question from Jana, who's in Year 8 at Rushmead School in Leicester. Hello, Jana. What was the most shocking image from all the videos you were sent? There's some stuff you probably can't talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you about one that was quite shocking.
Yeah.
But you know, stop me if it's too horrible. But there was one that I didn't put in that was so shocking. It came from Tunisia, and it was a clip of a bunch of doctors in an operating theatre, and there's a man lying on a gurney, being operated on, or I'm not quite sure, unconscious anyway. And one of the doctors reaches towards his mouth with a kind of some medical implement, and he puts it inside the person's mouth, and he starts pulling, and out comes a wrench that long from out of this guy's mouth. And all
genuine footage?
yes, and all the doctors are looking at it like this, and then they all start laughing. They all just think it's the most hilarious thing ever. So there were some things like that.
Oh, wow. Olivia from Mount Grace High School would like to know which video was your favourite.
They're like all my little children. They're all my little children. I can't have a favourite. I don't know. It's one of those things when we were making it, it would change every day.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's one that really special to me in Uganda, because I spent a lot of time in Uganda when I was making this film, The Last King of Scotland. There's one from there where it's just this beautiful girl talking with her boyfriend about the customs that they have in Uganda and about how women have to kneel down in front of men,
yeah.
and it's very sweet. And it's just, probably because of what it means to me, I love it. I think probably the best clip as a piece of filmmaking is the clip that was sent in by the Japanese father and his son, and which is near the beginning of the film, and clearly the mother in the family has passed away recently, and we learn that slowly through the course of this clip, and it's very, very touching. And they say good morning to the mother. There's a little shrine set up in the corner of the room, and they ring a bell and light an incense.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Jamie from the Roseland Community Film Club would like to know, what's your all-time favourite film?
What is my all-time favourite film? You know what? You're going to think this is really uncool, but well, I know it's kind of scary admission. Oh no, how did you know? No, it's not. It's a film called Singing in the Rain.
That's really cool.
Singing in the Rain, which is a musical, and it's like one of those films where it should be on the Film Club list. I hope it is.
It is. It's one our Film Club recommends.
Which is constantly entertaining. It's so funny. Everyone's really hilarious in it, and it's got great dancing. And I don't really like dancing that much, but actually, this is dancing where it's really incredibly energetic, and it's stunt dancing. There's all that running up the wall and stuff. Anyway, that is probably about my all-time favourite film, because that's one of those films, if it comes on TV, I switch it on, it'll cheer me up, no matter what mood I'm in.
Great, thanks so much, Kevin.
Thank you.
Once again, thanks to all you guys for your brilliant questions. If you haven't seen Life in a Day yet, I think it's out in 2 weeks' time on the 17th, so do go and see it. And we've had a great time making this webcast. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.